Hi guys, I hope everyone is doing well. I want to share a couple of updated information really quickly. Number one, we talked about last week, CHNV has been revoked by the government and also the EAD. Many of you have started receiving notices of intent to revoke your EAD, and you are given a certain amount of time to provide certain evidence to rebut that or show why the EAD should not be terminated. Guys, I want you to remember in our last video, we talked about a judge is going to be deciding on April 7th whether or not to issue a preliminary injunction, or also referred to as a block, on the government terminating or revoking CHNV parole, along with revoking or terminating the work permit in connection with the CHNV parole. That is going to be decided by the judge on April 7th. Keep that in mind. If you have a notice that it talks about countervailing evidence for you to provide that by a certain time period, work with an attorney. Next, I want to share with you, and that is on last Friday, another judge in another lawsuit concerning the government removing respondents to third countries. Now, that judge entered a temporary restraining order that applies nationwide, and the temporary restraining order provides that before the government or its agencies or anyone working on behalf of the government, before they can remove someone to a third country, they have to provide the respondent and their attorney with written notice. The respondent will have an opportunity to apply for relief under Convention Against Torture, and then have that application that they apply for decided upon. This is what due process looks like, guys. So, in that particular case, the judge is going to take that issue back up on April 10th to decide whether or not the judge is going to issue a preliminary injunction. And if that is issued, that will allow the case to continue through litigation while that temporary block or preliminary block remains in place. Next, today there was another lawsuit filed concerning the registration requirement that the government is asking for all non-citizens to, one, be registered, two, carry proof of registration, and failing to do either of the two carries prison time and a financial penalty or fine. That lawsuit was filed today. There is no future action outside of the lawsuit being filed. If and when hearing dates arise, or if a temporary or preliminary order is issued or not, I will certainly update you on that. More information to share. Guys, I share with you that I am in the state of Florida. And so this information is specific to Florida, but it could be happening elsewhere. In Florida, it is being reported several things. And I do want to say these are reports. This is not legal advice. So take that with a grain of salt in that context, because this may or may not be happening in other parts of the country. But in Florida, it is being reported that individuals with prior removal orders are being detained. Let's say if you go to an I-130 interview and you have a prior removal order that maybe you are trying to reopen that proceeding to get that dismissed, individuals are being detained and or arrested. So bear that in mind. Lawful permanent residents, if you have a criminal arrest, I said criminal arrest, not even a conviction. If you have a criminal arrest and you have departed, be aware that on re-entry, you may be detained and or arrested. Likewise, LPRs who are staying outside of the U.S. for long periods of time, upon your re-entry, you too may be detained with regards to your re-entry into the U.S. That is important to note for you guys. Another thing that is also being reported again here in Florida, and that is individuals who are eligible for filing for a bond with the immigration judge. What's happening is that those individuals are being transferred, let's say transferred to another facility. And what's happening is that although the motion for bond has been filed, because of the transfer, it is being reported that the government is seeking to have the case moved or also transferred likewise. So be aware of that. and everything. If you haven't already done so, you should be working with an attorney. Certainly if you are detained, or certainly if any of these measures or policies will affect you and your immigration matter. And guys, remember, this is so important. Remember, with regards to the CHNV revocation, the notice indicated that they are prioritizing those who have not filed for another immigration benefit, or those who do not have a immigration application filed by someone else. Work with an attorney. If you qualify for an immigration benefit or are eligible to be sponsored by someone else, work with an attorney to make sure your matter is looked at and evaluated for any relief that you are able to file. Guys, this was a really quick update. I will definitely see you in the next video. I want to thank you all for watching and your support. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.